Good morning, students. Welcome back to biology class, chapter 8, Cell, the unit of life. Today's class, we are going to discuss about the eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells includes protista, mycota, plants and animals. The eukaryotic cells, there is an extensive compartmentalization of cytoplasm through the presence of membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotic cells possess an organized nucleus with a nuclear envelope. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. Their genetic material is organized into chromosomes. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. Plant and animal cells are different. Plant cells possess cell walls, plastids, and a large central vacuole which are absent in animal cells. Animal cells have centrioles which are absent in almost all plant cells. Okay. Now we will discuss about the cell organelles, its structure and functions. First we will take the cell membrane. Okay. The cell membrane is composed of lipids that are arranged in a bilayer, 2 layers. The lipids are arranged within the membrane with the polar head towards the outer sides and the hydrophobic tails towards the inner part. This ensures that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbons is protected from the aqueous environment. The lipid component of the membrane mainly consists of phosphoglycerides. Later, biochemical investigation clearly revealed that the cell membranes also possess protein and carbohydrate. The ratio of protein and lipid varies considerably in different cell types. In human beings, the membrane of the erythrocyte has approximately 52% protein and 40% lipids. Depending on the case of extraction, membrane proteins can be classified as integral protein or peripheral. Peripheral proteins lie on the surface of membrane while the integral proteins are partially or totally buried in the membrane. An improved model of the structure of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. They accepted fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. According to this, the fluid nature of lipids enables lateral movement of proteins within the overall bilayer. This ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. The fluid nature of the membrane is also important from the point of view of functions like cell growth, formation of intercellular junctions, secretion, endocytosis, cell division, etc. One of the most important functions of the plasma membrane is the transport of the molecules across it. The membrane is selectively permeable to some molecules present on either side of it. Many molecules can move briefly across the membrane without any requirement of energy, and this is called the passive transport. Neutral solutes may move across the membrane by the process of simple diffusion along the concentration gradient from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Water may also move across this membrane from higher to lower concentration. Movement of water by diffusion is called osmosis. As the polar molecules cannot pass through the non-polar lipid bilayer, they require a carrier protein of the membrane to facilitate their transport across the membrane. A few ions or molecules are transported across the membrane against their concentration gradient, that means from lower to the higher concentration. Such a transport is an energy dependent process in which ATP is utilized and is called active transport. Next, we will discuss about the cell wall. A non-living rigid structure called the cell wall forms an outer covering for the plasma membrane of fungi and plants. Cell wall gives the shape to the cell and protects the cell from mechanical damage and infection. It also helps in cell-to-cell interaction and provides barrier to undesirable macromolecules. Algae have cell wall made up of cellulose, galactans, minerals like calcium carbonate, while in other plants it consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. The cell wall of a young plant cell, the primary wall is capable of growth, which gradually diminishes as the cell matures, and the secondary wall is formed on the inner towards the membrane side of the cell. The middle lamella is a layer mainly of calcium pectate which holds or glues the different neighboring cells together. The cell wall and middle lamellae may be traversed by plasmodesmata which connect the cytoplasm of neighboring cells. Next, we'll see the cell organelle is the endomembrane system. While each of the membranous organelles is distinct in terms of its structure and function, many of these are considered together as in endomembrane system because their functions are coordinated. The endomembrane system include endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes and vacuoles. Since the functions of the mitochondria, chloroplast and peroxisomes are not coordinated with the above components, these are not considered as part of the endomembrane system. Next cell organelle is the endoplasmic reticulum. Electron microscopic studies of eukaryotic cells reveal the presence of a network or reticulum of tiny tubular structures scattered in the cytoplasm that is called the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space into two distinct compartments. First one, luminal inside endoplasmic reticulum and extraluminal, that means cytoplasm compartments. The endoplasmic reticulum often shows ribosomes attached to their outer surface. The endoplasmic reticulum bearing ribosomes on their surface is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. In the absence of ribosomes, they appear smooth and are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough means with the ribosomes. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is frequently observed in the cells actively involved in protein synthesis and secretion. They are extensive and continuous with the other membrane of the nucleus. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the major site for synthesis of lipids. In animal cells, lipid-like steroidal hormones are synthesized in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Next cell organelle is the Golgi apparatus. Camillo Golgi in 1898 first observed densely stained reticular structures near the nucleus. These were later named Golgi bodies after the Camillo Golgi. They consist of many flat, disc-shaped, sac-like cisternae. These are stacked parallel to each other. Varied number of cisternae are present in a Golgi complex. The Golgi cisternae are concentrically arranged near the nucleus with the distinct convex cis or the forming phase and concave trans or the maturing phase. The cis and the trans phases of the organelle are entirely different but interconnected. The Golgi apparatus principally performs the function of packaging materials to be delivered either to the intracellular targets or secreted outside the cell. Materials to be packaged in the form of vesicles from the endoplasmic reticulum fuse with the cis phase of the Golgi apparatus and move towards the maturing phase. This explains why the Golgi apparatus remains in close association with the endoplasmic reticulum. A number of proteins synthesized by ribosomes on the endoplasmic reticulum are modified in the cisternae of the Golgi apparatus before they are released from its trans phase. Golgi apparatus is the important site of formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Okay, what is the function? It is the important site of formation of the glycoproteins and the glycolipids. Next cell organelle is the lysosomes. These are membrane-bound vesicular structure formed by the process of packaging in the Golgi apparatus. The isolated lysosomal vesicles have been found to be very rich in almost all types of hydrolytic enzymes. What are the hydrolytic enzymes? Hydrolases, lipases, proteases, carbohydrases. These are the digesting enzymes optimally active at the acidic pH. These enzymes are capable of digesting carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. So, the lysosomes are known as the suicide bags. Next cell organelle is the vacuoles. The vacuole is the membrane-bound space found in the cytoplasm. It contains water, excretory product and other materials not useful for the cell. The vacuole is bound by a single membrane called tonoplast. In plant cells, the vacuoles can occupy up to 90% of the volume of the cell. In plants, the tonoplast facilitates the transport of a number of ions and other materials against concentration gradients into the vacuole. Hence, their concentration is significantly higher in the vacuole than in the cytoplasm. In amoeba, the contractile vacuole is important for excretion. In many cells, as in Protista, food vacuoles are formed by engulfing the food particles. Thank you.